can feel it down in my plums. When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in.
Welcome back to Let the Boys Watch,
No,
an entertainment
Gabriel,
podcast brought to you
I
by
said, no.
Going Great Productions. And today we'll be discussing the Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 7, The Red Sowing. House of the Dragon stars Matt Smith, Emma Darcy, Olivia Cooke, Rhys Ifans, Steve Toussaint, Matthew Needham, Ewan Mitchell, and Tom Glynn-Carney. I am one of your co-hosts. My name is Robbie, and alongside me is the cuss, Ben. How we doing?
Doing good. Robbie, I'm going to need you to follow me to this dragon pit. I want to see if you can ride a dragon.
Yeah, come on, I'm gonna go right now. I got some lineage that I'm ready to go. And alongside the cuz and myself, it's a good friend of ours and co-host, Ryan. How we doing?
Good. Robbie, after you follow Benny and I to the dragon pit, we're going to go up to the balcony and not give you any instructions and just watch you, fumble around. How's that sound?
Thank you. Yeah, it sounds good. I'm used to that, so thank you. I appreciate it.
We'll get to that later. So yeah, like Robbie said, this is Let the Boys Watch, and we are talking about House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 7. For those of you that may be concerned about book spoilers, or if you've been on the internet today at all, Episode 8 spoilers, we will not go past this episode. We will talk about anything that's happened in the past 2 seasons, possibly some Game of Thrones stuff, but we're not going to go further than this show, so don't worry about that. If you want to get involved in the conversation, let us know what you thought about this episode or what you think, the season as a whole is, because we're going to be wrapping up next week. Send us an email, ltbwpodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram. Send us a message there. They're both in the show notes. And also check us out on YouTube. Benny, tell them about it, not tell us. We know already.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we got 90-something days left to the election. We got 90-something days for Ryan's mustache for Kamala that I think is coming. I'm excited for that. So we'll see. We got a lot to look forward to, and you can watch it all happen on YouTube. We have one more episode of House of the Dragon to talk about after this week. We're going to have our Bear Season 3 wrap-up exclusively on YouTube, so follow us there. And if you just want to see a couple of handsome guys and me talk about your favorite movies and TV shows, give us a follow on YouTube. We'd really love it.
Yeah. Stushes for Harris, I guess.
Crusty for Kamala.
That's right.
Be careful. We're gonna get banned from Twitter.
That's right.
Excuse me.
And also, after House of the Dragon, if that's why you're here, check us out afterwards, because every Friday we'll do a movie poll where we pick 3 different movies, typically with some kind of theme, have you guys vote on it, we watch it, talk about it. So, keep following us. Again, if you're not following us on Instagram or, on your favorite podcast provider, just do a little follow and then check us out in the following week. So, gentlemen, before we get to our 7 questions for the 7 kingdoms where we talk about this episode, let's get some overall impressions and scores. Very curious to what you guys thought about this. Does anyone want to start?
I would actually like for you to lead us off, since you're going to be asking all the questions. I'd like to hear from you first.
All right. Overall, I liked this episode, but I also kind of didn't. And I know a lot of people are like, at least on the internet and like reviews and stuff like that. I'm not sure what this scored, but it seems like a lot of people really liked it. And I kind of was like, about it. Again, I liked it. I definitely liked parts of it. It was yet again another kind of setting the pieces, because I'm hoping that maybe next week a lot of stuff goes down. But yeah, it was, I don't know. It was a longer episode, and it felt like a couple things happened. We got some Dragon Riders, awesome. Some stuff finally happened in Harrenhal with Daemon, which I loved seeing Oscar Tully in that. But yeah, overall, I don't know. It didn't hit that hard. I still enjoyed it. But I feel like better than some of the other slow episodes this season, not as good as some of the highs. So kind of in the middle there. But overall, I'm hoping they close it out strong because I feel like there was a lot of episodes this season that were there was chunks where I was just like, all right, the Damon stuff, whatever. So that's why I'm kind of curious what you guys thought, because I felt like I should have liked it a lot more, but I just kind of didn't. I don't know. Maybe we'll figure that out while we talk. So whoever wants to go next.
All right. Robbie, what'd you think?
Sorry to say, but I'm completely done with this show. I'm done with it. So this might be my last season. So you bet you should. Hopefully you find a replacement for the 8 weeks that you do it next year, because I'm done. I'm done with the weak writing. I'm done with the shitty character development. I'm done with everything. The only thing that was coolest episode was the dragons. I hated the dragon riders. I thought that was an abomination, the way that came together. I don't know. It's those. I don't know. I'll talk about it later, but that really chapped me up. I don't know. I just think that a lot of things in this episode were boring. I think when are we gonna get to it? I feel like, yeah, the source material, maybe we're only on like page 100. I don't know, but yeah, we stuff has to happen, and there's been too many episodes this year that were slow, and the pace was very slow, and the pacing in this episode was slow. A few scenes were good and enjoyable, but for a penultimate episode, when 4 out of 4 or 5 episodes in this season have been slow to develop and slow to get anywhere, where I don't care about Damon anymore. Rainier, what are we doing? Allison, I don't like. I get it, but like, enough. Go float somewhere. Like, everybody is just doing things that makes no sense to me. Was very frustrated with this. I go on Reddit after the episode's over, and everybody's blowing these episodes like they're, season 2 of Game of Thrones. I mean, just a bunch of nerds who never experienced stand-up 69s thinking that this is the greatest stuff ever. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about it, and I don't know. I'm just disappointed because I expected a lot more, especially in this episode. I thought we already tied some things together. Again, I wouldn't. I don't know. The writing's weak. Some of the stuff to me is weak. Some of the characters this season have taken a step back. Damon has taken a step back. Corliss has taken 45 steps back. I don't like the way his character is, the way he just shuns his, bastards like they're nothing. The conversations they have are just filler. There's nothing to it. There's no context to it. I don't know. The political stuff isn't what it would be in a Game of Thrones. The scheming isn't what it would be. It's just everybody's just moping around town, and you got flying a dragon. That blasphemy. I'm sorry. That irks me to no end.
Well, speaking of somebody who's never had a stand-up 69, I enjoyed it. Am I gonna go and say it's the best thing that ever happened? No. But I think that we learned last year, and we know for a fact now, that I don't think the penultimate episode is going to be the penultimate episode that Game of Thrones was. I think we're in for some big stuff next week, and it's going to leave us on a high note and a cliffhanger. I enjoyed the dragon stuff. I thought I loved seeing 50,000 people get burned to a crisp for no reason, and Rainier just kind of standing back and standing by. But I liked that we got a little bit of, yeah, this is great, but also now Ulf has a dragon, and what the hell does that mean? Because he's an idiot, and now an idiot has quite possibly one of the most powerful weapons in this universe. It's like letting Putin have nukes. Like, what the hell? He's probably going to use this thing poorly, and that could cause some issues for the blacks. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, for me, I'm just along for the ride here. I have no horse in the race. I think the blacks probably more than the both of you. You guys, I think, seem to think they're a little bit bland and boring, but I'm enjoying that whole dynamic. I especially enjoyed like the Jace scene where he's talking about how he's the only thing he has is a dragon rider. He knows he's a bastard, and if everybody else can now potentially be a dragon rider, where does that leave his claim? Um, I enjoy that dynamic that they're setting up with them. I mean, that's going to kind of be, he's definitely ride or die for Rhaenyra, but it at least sets up a little bit of potential struggle between the heir and the queen. Um, I enjoyed the opening scene with her going to meet Adam. I thought that the way it was framed was so cool, like the standoff between the two of them. Um, yeah, I'm interested to see where the Corlys relationship goes with his two bastards. Now they're both potentially important, very important characters. One's his first mate of his choosing. He decided to raise that person up. Whether it is truly because he saved his life or because he saved his life and he's his bastard. So he feels like, oh, this is a way to do right by him. And now Adam, who I'm assuming he knows that he's his father as well. Adam doesn't know that though. So I'm intrigued, to use our favorite word, but do I think it was the best episode ever? No. But a lot of these takes that I have, I think are going to be dependent on them sticking the landing, because you're right. There was a lot of setup in this season, and it's a lot of episodes for not a lot of stuff to happen. I think when we talk about our season 3 review of The Bear, we might have some similar feelings towards that as well. Standalone episodes, I found each one to be good, but when I'm stepping back and looking at this whole season as a whole, I hope after next week, I think I'm going to think that a lot more happened than maybe actually did, because there were some times in this season where I felt like we could have smushed this down to 6 episodes, or made it a 10 season episode and more. We went further in the story, but as far as this episode as a unit, I enjoyed it.
Fair. I think a number of things. One, I think Adam does know that Corlys is his father. Pretty sure.
Adam is not the bald one.
No,
Adam has the dreads.
dreadlocks.
I don't think
Dragon
he
Rider.
knows.
I think he does.
Okay, because I
remember him and Alan were arguing about like how he wanted like basically Corlys to like come in and like raise them both up and whatever. I thought that's what I took from it. But maybe Adam just knows that Alan is and wanted to ride his coattails or something.
Yeah, the feeling that I got is maybe they think they both had the same mother, and I think maybe the hair has something to do with it. I might have missed this. I might have, because when they had that conversation or that argument, I kind of don't want to say it's an argument because it wasn't, but it was more Adam kind of like putting Alan in his place. I kind of felt like it's more like you can't wait for him to come pick you up, and it was more of like your father instead of our father. But maybe that's just the way he looks at the situation. It could just be like, he's not a part of my life, he's never going to be a part of my life, and Alan doesn't accept that. So maybe you're right, and that's kind of the point he's trying to get across. But yeah, I kind of thought that he didn't know, but I could be wrong.
Alan says Corlys would rather something than name us his sons.
Oh, okay. All right.
So.
Hey, Robbie.
Hand up. Man up.
Yeah, I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong.
That's a very, very, very nasty question you asked.
That's true. I'm a nasty person. Yeah, I'm sure, we'll probably address, everything that we all said in those throughout the questions. If not, we'll talk about it. But scores. I guess we'll go in order. I'm gonna go 7.5. Again, I liked it. I'm I'm pot committed at this point. It would take a lot for me to give up. But again, I enjoyed it, but I have my problems with this episode and with this season just in general. So 7.5. But leading into your score, Robbie, if episode 8 sticks the landing, will you consider coming back next season? Or doesn't matter what happens next episode?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Um,
See when we get
I
there.
don't. You'll see when we get there. I'll let you know next week. All right. But the only reason why I would come back is because of both of you. That's it. Not Benny's disgusting attitude, but for you, Ryan.
How dare you? I can't believe I shared a Brenzino with you.
Oh my God, forget about it, please. You overcharge me with the Brenzino. How dare you charge me for an Uber ride? Um, I'll go 6-4. The only thing that saved this episode for me was my man Oscar Tully and the Dragons. I'll go on a limb and say the only death that I'll be truly shocked and hurt about is Vagar, and that's it for me. Everybody else can drop dead.
I don't completely disagree with that.
I mean, we're probably going to see all those things happen anyway. So if you stick around long enough, you're probably going to see everybody die. I mean, I feel like
true.
that's
You're
where
right.
this is going. So maybe that's the whole point of this show, is just to get you to hate everybody and they watch them all
Maybe.
die. I'm going to go. I think the last few episodes, I kind of stuck around the same score. I think maybe those had a little bit more intrigue to them, but this one had just a lot of sick dragon stuff. And if you know me, I love dragon stuff. So I'm going to go a little bit higher just because I feel like the budget on this one must have been crazy. And I enjoyed all the stuff that they did with the dragons. So I'm going to go 8.6.
Wow. Quite the spread.
Yeah.
Must have a spit take.
No, I mean the dragon stuff was cool. I mean, to look at, and the same thing you had mentioned about some of the cinematography, some of the scenery was awesome. And the shots with like the two sea smoke and
Cyrax.
thank you. A lot of great shots, but the story is just kind of lacking a little bit for me lately. But you might be right to just hate everyone, because who besides Oscar Tully and Vagar, I can't really think of anyone that I'm like love them. Otto,
Please. Otto is the next king.
I think I'm out on like Rhaenyra. I'm out, and everyone else stinks.
How could you be out on Rhaenyra?
She stinks. That's why.
Stop it. She's got nothing.
She sucks. She
She's got
sucks.
nothing.
And I'm done with her. She
Oh,
stinks.
please. She's got nothing, and she's gonna win this and come out on top. Okay. She made a lot of trade deadline acquisitions. Look at, she got fucking 3 dragons in this episode.
She got Ulf riding dragons, bro. Well,
Yeah.
that's come on.
It's a liability. I'm not gonna lie. It's a liability.
Huge Hammer, whoever that guy is, all of a sudden just came out of nowhere. Like, come on. Like these guys
Oh,
coming out
please.
of nowhere.
The guy looks like fucking Thor, and he's got a dead kid on his hands and a wife that really doesn't believe in him. This man's got something to prove. I'm looking for a lot of upside potential with this guy.
No, that's a gun for hire. Someone like
Looks
that
like Snore.
goes to the highest bidder. King
All right.
Cohen could come in and just give him as tons of cash, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll play for anybody. I don't give a crap."
Yeah, but you know the greens are cheap, and they're not going to pay him. They're not
For
going
a
to give him the
dragon?
years. They're not going to give him the years, or they're not going to give him the money he wants, and he's going to stay loyal to the Blacks.
We should call the show House of the Off Screen, because every fucking thing happens off screen on this show. Just this lady died. These battles are off screen. This little child died out of nowhere. Like the Dragon Riders, like you think that they got the 27 Yankees on these dragons the way you're talking. They got a couple of bozos. I'd rather have Ray
Bozos.
Charles and Stevie Wonder on my dragons.
Bronze Fury, bro. Come on, stop
Who's
it.
Bronze Fury?
Fucking what's his name?
Vermithor.
Vermithor, please.
No, I'm talking about the riders.
It doesn't matter. You know how they say? Do you know how they say the clothes make the man? The dragon makes the man.
Please, please. Spoken by somebody who's please. I don't even want to say it, please.
Go ahead.
I couldn't come up with something, so I just made pretend I was going to say something.
Called your bluff.
Gotcha.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. All right. Let's get into our 7 questions. Clearly we're
The house divided cannot stand.
Yeah, we're divided right now. So first question, and these questions will go semi-chronologically. We're not going to cover every single little detail of the episode. So first, and it is the first scene, but did Adam, as they say, fumble the bag? And what I mean by that is, she even says, Rhaenyra, you kneeled pretty damn quick for having a nuclear weapon under your control. And I'm curious because I think this will kind of flow into also Ulf and Hugh. Like, yeah, okay, the dragons picked them, but how do you convince them to be loyal? Do you pay them? Do you raise them up to lords? Like, I'm sure some of this stuff gets explained in the future, but as we know, we're not getting into that. So, like, what happens now? Like, Adam could have said basically anything. I want a castle. And what is she going to say? No. You have one of the most powerful things in the universe, in this universe. So I'm just curious what you guys thought. Like, was that too quick? And then also extend that to all of the 2 other idiots. Like, what's going to happen here with these dragon riders? And we can maybe get into other things as well. So, Benny, what do you think?
See, this is why I am firmly in Rhaenyra's camp, because if it was Aegon or Aemon that found those people and they came to their team, they would still treat him like scrubbinis. But yes, Adam in a way did fumble the bag, but you see Rhaenyra like gussied him up, gave him a nice place to stay in the castle.
Yeah, treat him as a guest, unlike everyone else was like, let him sleep in the stables.
Exactly. And I feel like he will get a lordship. So he fumbled the bag in a sense of it's like you caught somebody's 500th home run ball and you were just happy to meet them after, not holding that thing for ransom. And he didn't know what he had. In a way, he was just kind of happy to be treated as a normal person and not a bastard that is doing the lowest of the low job. And Rhaenyra, showing the queen that she is, still is going to make sure that he's treated right. Probably will raise him up to be a lord if he doesn't die at some point, which he probably will. But yes, he fumbled, but Rhaenyra will treat him right. So in the end, it's all going to work out for him.
There. Robbie, any thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with Ben. I don't think he fumbled the bag. Yeah, he was a little too quick to just, hand over whatever he had. I understand that, but again,
loyalty.
Yeah, I guess he just proved his loyalty to her, and by doing that, she rewarded him like you guys said, put him up in a hotel or holiday and had him nice, a cup of food, a little warm spot. Didn't throw him in the stables with Seabiscuit and Man of War, so they was all right. Everything was good over there. So, yeah, I mean, I wonder what he could have gotten if he held out a little bit. I mean, probably not as much as he can get now, but as long as I feel like Rhaenyra, whatever. I mean, Benny, plays with you and her. You make me sick, the both of you. But no, yeah, she treated him right. She did it right by him. She does right by everybody. I think she has a good heart. But again, we've seen people with good hearts in this show turn pretty evil. So at the moment, she did right. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? But no, I agree. I probably did the same thing. I don't know what else he could have held out for, but he should prove his loyalty, and he got rewarded for it, and he probably will get rewarded even more in the future before he dies. I don't know if he dies, but obviously they all die. Everybody dies. Yeah. I die. We die.
On a long enough timeline, everyone dies.
Yeah,
that's true.
And I think too, in a way, he did the best possible thing he could have done for Rhaenyra. Like, yes, he
Oh,
could
yeah.
have held out for more, but Rhaenyra is the type of person that sees what he did and will reward that more than him just being like, I want a castle and to be a lord and I'll bend the knee.
Yeah.
Which would have been a fair enough trade,
Asking
and
price, yeah.
she would have accepted that too. But what he did, while not the smart move, was the best move.
True. And I didn't even think of that what you brought up with if this was Aemond, especially Aegon, I don't know, a little bit gray, what his action might have been, but I think you're right. She is gonna store that and remember the fact that he knelt very quickly and is loyal and whatever. But as we've seen, Rhaenyra, she's probably gonna start telling him secrets and shit because that's what she does with people she met 24 hours ago. So,
But who does
little
she
too
got?
trusting.
She's got no one.
I know.
She's got no army.
Her
At
team
these,
is a little weak. She's a superstar on a weak team.
but I'm telling you, she's bringing in role players that really believe in the system. They want to run the triangle offense. So, I mean, listen, sometimes you got Bill Wellington running out there in your starting five and you win a championship.
Well, it's Bill Wennington. That's number one. And number
Listen,
two,
I was 4 years old.
and number two, you need star players to run the triangle offense. Okay. Michael, Scotty, Dennis, Shaq, Kobe, Fisher. Like you need the stars. You know what I'm saying? I would love to know how quickly, please tell me how quickly you would bend the knee for Rhaenyra.
For Rhaenyra, I'd be on both knees. Not the knee, both knees.
2 knees. If I had 3 knees, I'd be on 3 knees. No, I get it. But
But
it is what
you
it
got
is.
the star players. The star players are the Dragons. You're just filling out the bench at this point.
Yeah, but if you have a Lamborghini, right? Don't you need someone that is
Multiple.
competent? Don't you someone who's competent to
drive it?
to ride a Lamborghini?
Yeah.
Like
I
Ulf
guess we'll find out.
Ulf
I mean-
Samuelson's what's he gonna do?
We'll see. I mean, I got confidence in Hugh. Like I said, Ulf is a wild card. That guy's gonna drunk drive it and crash it into like Harrenhal or something, probably.
Probably. All right. I'm sure based on my last question, I'm sure we'll talk much more about those two characters. So moving on to question 2. Would you, if you were Sir Rickard, go camping with Alicent? Yes or no?
I'll go. Yeah, of course I will. Please
Oh,
forget
he's
about
back now. Now he's back. You see, he's got the green hoodie on, and he's ready to go camping with Allison. Look how fast the tides turn.
Oh,
I'll be
please.
putting those stakes in for the tent.
Oh my God,
Making the
forget about
fire.
it. Go make a little fire, have a couple of Virginia Slims together at night,
Oh
little
my God.
nightcap.
And this guy gets
Please,
one wet pajama shot, and he's back in.
The vapors were exploding in this house. Let me tell you something right now. Of course I would. Of course I would. A vulnerable woman, beautiful, lonely, upset that her family is leaving her. And here I come. I got a couple ribeyes, a little butter I made, a little homemade butter I made, some red wine. Probably not probably, a fantastic Spotify playlist I got playing anyway for that. And we're just gonna have a nice little night, make her forget about, all the trials and tribulations she's been through for the past couple of years. She was basically having sex with somebody whose skin was falling off. So, here's a real man coming into town. So here we are, me, Allison, in the woods.
After Kristen.
Please,
Think you're
see this
stacking up
hair?
to Kristen?
Look at this hair. You see Crispy's hair? Please forget about it.
No lemon tree.
No lemon tree. This is Nucky's grooming gallery. Forget about it.
I'm going camping with her, and I'm putting on my Spotify playlist that starts with the Rains of Castamere, and I'm saying the Blacks are never guards, and I'm taking it down in the name of the Queen.
Wow.
You make me sick. You make me sick. I came on here and then I was like, you know what? I'm not sick. And then I came on here and I'm sick to my stomach.
Ryan, would you?
I don't know. It depends on what else was going on. But my real question is, the hell's going on? What's your prediction? What is Allison up to? And this is extended, we see her leaving, and then we come back later in the episode or whatever. So like just generally, she's camping, she's swimming, she's hanging out in the woods, becoming one with nature. What's her deal? I have a theory, but I want to hear what you guys think. If there's anything here, she just gonna go back and let him have it. I don't know.
I think she's on her Aaron Rodgers retreat, some ayahuasca, a dark room in the tent that she goes to retreat to, and she has her silence. But I think at the end you see she kind of wakes up, and I think she's got some moves in mind. And I don't know if I know exactly what those moves are yet, but I think she may have found a new purpose after she took her a couple days of PTO.
It's true. Robbie, what about you?
Yeah, I don't really know what the deal is. But I'm not sure. Hopefully something. I mean, anything's probably better than her character arc this season. So I hope something happens, because I never fell off a character as quickly as I fell off her. So let's figure it out. Let's get together. Hopefully she comes to and is a force to be reckoned with in next episode and the coming seasons, when you'll never see me again.
Well, we got probably at least 2 years until the next season, so maybe by then you'll forget.
They said quick turnaround on this
What?
next season. Yeah,
All right.
it's definitely next year at some point.
Nice. Quick turnaround so we can just sulk. We can go into the woods and we can get fish thrown at us, after we visit a church.
Sub
And then
question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, and then Ulf comes out of nowhere and rides a fierce dragon as he's, please.
Sub question. Yes or no answer. One word. Does Allison come back to King's Landing to see her son and Otto back?
Yes.
Right.
No.
No, I say yes. I think they're going to make an appearance.
I think what's going to happen is that I don't think, and I hope I'm using the term correctly. I think she's not going to fully turn face, but I think she's gonna something. She's gonna do something with the blacks, or like message them, or something's up with this. She could
Send
sulk
the
in her room. Why'd she leave the castle?
send a raven saying you up to
You
Rhaenyra.
up? You out? So we'll see. But that, I mean, listen, if Otto comes back next episode, that'd be fantastic.
He better. I got a lot riding on this last episode. Otto better
So
be
much. I think Otto comes back and brings Daron or Darren or however you say it. That's what I think. I
there. That's
hope.
what I just said. That's what I just said.
You said Daron?
Yeah.
I
Her
didn't.
son.
Oh, alright. Yeah, true.
Because I didn't know how to pronounce it either, so I tried to get around it.
Fair.
I hope that Otto comes back next week with
And just gets
Daron. With Daron.
You just think of that?
Yeah, why you guys said that?
No, totally no idea.
I wrote it
Otto,
down. I had it written down.
oh, what is that? Your unemployment check? I think Otto. We all appreciated Otto when he was around. I think we all gave him his flowers, but man, like not having him around these last few episodes, huge hole in the show. I really miss him a lot more than I thought I was going to.
I think next episode he's gonna come back with Daron.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think they casted Tom Hardy as Daron.
Nice. Heard he had a drug problem though, and they said if he didn't get off the drugs, he couldn't be back. So,
Oh wow, I got to look into that.
so
Tom Sizemore, right?
yeah.
That's what I meant.
No, Tom Hardy. Bill Wesington's and Tom Snarty.
I said Bill Wellington, like Beef Wellington.
Beef Wellington's fantastic. Sub question 3B. George R.R. Martin, overrated, properly rated, or underrated?
Properly rated.
For the works that he's completed, maybe underrated, but for his works as a whole, because they are not completed, way overrated. Fuck him.
I'm taking it as it is and saying properly rated because I don't want to go, yes, in a way overrated, yes, in a way underrated. So I'll split the difference. Stick with properly rated because if you, as the kids say, if you know, you know.
Sure. Sure.
All right. Question number 3. So would you tell Amon about Sea Smoke? So we have our good friend Laris hanging out, just taking in the sights. And what's his name? Ironrod, I think his name is. Comes up to him with some juicy goss, as the kids say. But a little bit tough to, really pin down like where the information came from. Your mother's sister's father's former roommate, that kind of shit. But I'm curious what you guys think. Like, all right, yes, this information is accurate. Does Laris know that? No. Would you want to be the one to tell Amon that Sea Smoke has a rider?
Robbie, answer.
I don't know because I don't really know if he truly believed it. So he's in a tough situation, but again, like I don't know if he believed it or if he didn't believe it. And if he did believe it, he didn't want to say that because he's team Aegon, right? Like I don't know. But what would that do for him to withhold the information? So I don't know. It's the first time that I'm I don't know. Actually, it's not the first time. It's probably every time. But I don't know. It's I'm having a difficult time, understanding if it's really true or if he, doesn't believe because it is vital information. But again, like it's fourth, fifth hand, right? If it was like somebody he trusted and knew, but he's getting it from this guy who I don't even know his name, but I see him in every episode, and he's getting it from a game of telephone basically. So it's tough. I want to believe that my man Laris doesn't believe it, but in another way, I think he does believe it, but is trying to screw aim on that or something. So I'm in a little pickle here. I don't know what to believe.
What did you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I kind of also thought that maybe one of the reasons he wouldn't want to tell him is because Amon's the type of guy who would shoot the messenger, because that's very bad intel. Not bad as in it's not true, but bad like fuck, that means the blacks have another dragon. So I feel like he doesn't want to enrage him in any way. But my sort of real question here as well is like, what's Laris's end game here? What's his goal? I mean, it seems like his goal is wrestle power away from Aemon and get Aegon back in the game, but like I feel like something else is up and we're not being told. Maybe we're being shown and we don't know it. I don't know. Robbie's kind of like, I agree with Robbie. Like, I don't know 100% what the heck's going on here.
I think Ironwood or Ironrod is in a no-win situation and Laris knows it. And I think that's why he kind of just said, I mean, do what you want. I mean, it's important information, but And I think that he knows that it's going to benefit him no matter what happens. Where if it's not true and he wasn't, if it wasn't true and he told him, hey, no, tell him, he's going to somehow get implicated and, well, he told me I should tell you and blah, 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 blah. And if he tells him not to tell him and it is true, so he kind of leaves his hands off of it and lets Ironwood take the fall no matter what. And he now has something that he can go to Aegon with or use to his advantage in some way. So I don't necessarily think that scene was as much about Ironwood as it was about seeing the wheel spin for Laris a little bit. And I kind of think that he knows that this is, again, something that he can use to his benefit, no matter how, what's that quote? I'm playing both sides, so I always come out on top. So I think that it's just him, scheming a little bit there.
Iron Rod.
There is an Ironwood family, I think, in the
Possible.
lore somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't agree. There's no real answer here at this point. I just feel like Laris is scheming, and I hope, because I would very much enjoy it, but I hope it's been in our face a little bit and we just haven't picked up on it this whole time. And then we're like, oh, all right, that makes sense. And like, I don't know, good for him. Good job there, old schemer. But yeah, I don't know. I hope we'll find out at least a little more next week. Because quick non-7 question. Cliffhangers on seasons, fan or not?
They have to be good. They have to be very good. Severance, cliffhanger, good.
Right.
I'm not saying what it was, but it's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Robbie. Cliffhanger's good or bad?
Some are good. Breaking Bad, season 4 cliffhanger, I think. Fantastic. But it's got to be good. Like, I don't know. I get the point of cliffhangers, but I think I'm more of a fan than not a fan. If it's done tastefully done, as their kids are saying.
Yeah.
Season 1 cliffhanger, very good.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, especially nowadays where like years past, you'd get TV every year. That's what happened. Now where I know you said quick turnaround, but like sometimes these shows, it's like 2-3 years until you're getting the next season. I hate.
Shout out the boys.
Yeah. So, all right.
Will Smith
Anyway.
moving to Philadelphia cliffhanger? Forget about it, please. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Forget about it.
So we mentioned it quickly before, but things are finally starting to happen at Harrenhal for Damon. And what I want to know is, which did you like better? Oscar Tully's sass or Simon Strong's side eye every time something happened and he looked over at Damon?
I love the Oscar Tully sass because he lured him in. He played the
knew what he
fool.
had.
Yeah. He played the fool in Harrenhal. And when he got out to the court there, the courtyard, he played him. He played
Bucking him
Damon. And
like a fiddle.
oh my God, he had pocket aces and he was showing 2s on the board. He nailed it. And I was very impressed with him.
Yeah. That was good. Maybe better than Leanna Mormont as far as sassy young actors. So, but yeah, I mean, generally, and Robbie will get to you in a sec. Generally, thoughts on this scene as well. That was kind of my jokey question, but Robbie, what did you think about this? Side eyes, sass, and also
The sass. Anytime anybody could put that fucking
idiot,
stupid fucking crybaby fucking Vision Quest loser Damon in his place, I'm all for it. And especially somebody younger and less powerful. I loved it. I don't know why I loved it more. The sass or his armor with the fish scales. I don't know what I
love
loved
it.
more. That was fantastic. You live by the code, you die by the code. And I was all for it. Simon Strong continues to be the MVP this season. I mean, the little subtle things he gets. What did he say? Oh my, or what did he say? His little, oh yeah, I forgot what he said. That was
Said something like that,
yeah,
almost like, oh heavens,
which maybe LOL. But yeah, this and the last scene were my 2 favorite scenes in this episode. I really enjoyed the kind of rope-a-dope Ali style that Oscar Tully showed Damon there. It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic acting. I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't know what they're drinking nowadays, but these child actors are really starting to bring it, and I love it. So yeah, this was a great scene. Love the sass. Love how he played Damon. It was great, and hopefully we see more of Oscar Tully.
Yeah, I hope so too. And I mean, so at this point, seems like Damon gets, the army that he wanted. What he does with it, maybe we'll find out next week, maybe next season. I don't know. But my question too is, besides any thoughts on, him getting this army finally, is like, what are they doing with this character? Like this whole season, last season, and maybe like the first episode of this season, I was like, Damon's a fucking badass. He's my guy. I know he's a piece of shit, but I love him. And like he's badass. He's cutting off people's heads at court. Like, who gives a shit? Fuck him. He fell like a rock this season, and even like him talking down to the River Lords in this episode, and like acting like Oscar Tully's beneath him, and like I guess technically in the pecking order he is, but like he fucking sucks now. Like just his character stinks. Not a
I
fan.
I think when you cast Matt Smith, you're putting him in every episode, and I think that that's the
I
only way
know.
he. No, I know, but I'm saying like that, and I think the overexposure in this season and having to find something for him to do every single episode hurt the character
Big time.
because you didn't need it all. You didn't
Same
need it
with
every single
Allison.
episode. Yeah, I mean, but even the Allison stuff like was connected to the King's Landing stuff and
Right.
and Aegon and Aemond and
It
like
made more sense for sure.
yeah. Whereas Matt Smith, and I love Damon as a character as well, but like it's just stretched out too far. Like you could have had, the same amount of story, but he was, every other episode, you got a little bit longer of a scene than he was in. And he had some pretty long scenes, but you could have stretched out a little bit and told more of that story in less time throughout the episode. So that's where I'm at with him, and I think it was to his detriment to be in every episode this season.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem with this entire series. And that's why I'm not really a fan. Everything's just stretched out. I understand, like, yes, I understand Game of Thrones had tons of source material, but they're stretching everything out here, and the character development stinks. And just stretching out the small folk stuff like that was like you could do it quicker than that. Even the Damon stuff. I mean, I know there was some times in Game of Thrones where I wouldn't see a character that I enjoyed for an episode or two, and then like when they popped up on screen, I was excited to see that. I guess I feel like we see this Damon stuff every single week just because maybe, like Benny said, you want him in the episode. But then again, it gets boring and stale. And then you wind up like really kind of hating the character because of it. When in reality, like I get it, he's a big star, but maybe, Otto's a great actor, right? And we
Stretch
don't
his
see Otto.
story
We
out.
haven't we haven't seen Otto for like 4 or 5 episodes. I mean, and I would put him just up there with Matt Smith as, a quality actor and somebody that really kind of carries this series. So, you know, I
But
sometimes less is more with this stuff.
I think Matt Smith is a name, and I think when he signs on to do something like this, it's like in his contract probably. And I don't want to disparage him because I don't know Matt Smith, but I think he's just that famous of an English actor that if he's going to be in it, he's a focal point. Like, I mean, there's always that story about Jason Alexander and Seinfeld, where they had one episode without George, and he went in the next week and said, "If you're not putting me in an episode ever again, just write me off the show completely." So, and I'm not putting that on Matt Smith because I don't know that, but I just feel like he was Doctor Who, like he was in a lot of other stuff that, I mean, Hand Up, Man Up, I haven't seen or can't recite off the top of my head, but
Brown.
I'm sure he's in that stratosphere of English actors that, like, if you're putting him in the show, he's top bill. Like he's going to be up there with the main characters.
Yeah, but George Costanza made Seinfeld. Please, come on, don't you dare compare.
I know. I know.
I could do without Matt Smith now, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think he still has a part to play, but agree. Like, what if he dies next week? Fine. See you later.
See,
I mean,
hey,
blasphemy,
see you later.
blasphemy.
Smell you later. All right. Question number 5. Is Reyna about to get a dragon? Thoughts? I mean, just wanders off the tour, which no one says or does anything, and then is looking for, I'm pretty sure it's Sheep Stealer is the wild dragon that they're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. Congratulations, Reina. I hope you get it. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think that's what they're setting us up for. I'm excited for her. I mean, it's a big day for her. I mean, she's been bounced around at this point and treated like crap, like by the Aarons, and I'm happy for her. I think she'll be on a dragon at the end of the season.
You think she's Team Black?
Oh, 100%.
Of course. Well, of course. If she was Team Green, he'd be poo-pooing her right now. You know he's come on,
Why
it's
would she?
disgusting.
Why
His
would she be
homerism
Team
is
Green?
disgusting.
They just
Why
threw
would
her
she-
out and said, go babysit these kids.
That's not Rhaenyra's fault.
Oh, of
Yes, it
course.
is.
You're like
She's
a
the one who
sycophant.
sent
You're
her
a
there.
sycophant.
Oh, please. I mean, it's an important job.
Yo,
And
you
she has
like
eggs.
you're a
Those eggs are
sycophant.
gone.
Oh, please. I'm shilling, but come on. She would never turn coat. She
So
would
then,
never turn coat.
okay. All right. So let's just think about this for a second. So if she gets a dragon, that's 1.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra 2.
Yeah.
Elf 3.
Yeah.
Adam 4.
Yeah.
Rhys 5. Bayless 6. Hugh 7. Am I missing any?
No.
I think that's so 7 to 2. And one of them is Helena's dragon. Okay, so maybe we'll give Daeron maybe 2.5. Fine.
And then I don't think Sunfire is down for the count.
Well, he's probably
Injured.
hurt.
He's on the IL.
Or Aegon's not riding any dragons anytime soon. But what I'm getting at is, so 7-ish to 2, 3-ish. People are gonna be switching sides because
Oh, yeah.
then the story
But-
would be over. We'd
Yeah,
be
no-
done. We could wrap it
But
up next
but Vagar's an ace in the hole, man. He could take out 2 in an episode.
possible.
But no, I do think someone's gonna switch sides. But I think it's gonna be, listen, if it's me, it's Ulf. Ulf is the one that's gonna change sides. Because I have faith in Hugh, and I have faith in my Team Black Rider dies.
Yeah.
I don't like Ulf. I don't like his look. I don't like his cockiness. And I don't like that he didn't want to go.
Ulf stinks.
He does
Stinks.
stink. As soon as he got a chance to prove himself, he goes, maybe I'll just stay here and fucking drink. No. Man up.
That's those are your guys. That's your team.
He is the last man on the bench, babe. He's the last man on the bench. He's the one we send out to go Lauren Vagar. Because if he goes down, we go, yeah, what can you do?
Yeah. Like a Bill, like kind of like a Bill Wennington.
Yeah. Bill Webington.
I mean, like, I can't believe what you just go to bat for these guys. Like, I can't believe it. The way you fawn over them.
You better believe the one true king.
Rhaenyra, I mean, for the things she's done, affairs, banging her uncle, and lesbian activities. I mean, come on. I mean, the
Please,
girl.
let he who has not cast a stone cast the first stone, or whatever they say. All right. Let he who without sin cast the first stone.
Whatever you're spewing, I don't want to hear. Disgusting.
All right, let's move on because we're gonna get to more dragon talk in a minute. So Benny, you brought it up before. My question for number 6 is, why is Jace being a dickhead? And I already know the answer, so I feel like we could talk about that. But the context to give here is, like you already said, I think it was you, about, yes, he's a bastard, but he always had the dragon riding, which kind of was like, I'm Targaryen, I'm riding dragons. But like, my question is, like, why is he being such a dickhead?
Because
Like
I
what?
mean, I think he sees that this whole war is being fought over, an illegitimate claim to the throne. And if he then becomes uh the heir and Rhaenyra dies, who's to say that he's not gonna face the same thing? Where Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
And I think that he sees that. I think he's smart. I think he's got a little teenage angst in him, and I think that you're getting a little bit of that as well. He's been kind of a little bit cabin fever, not being able to get involved in all this stuff, whereas Rainier is like, I need to be protected apparently, and you need to be protected, because if something does happen to me, you are the next person up,
You're next.
next man up, as they say. And I think he sees that. I think he knows that Rainier has been hiding this from him, that he's a bastard, even though it seems pretty clear. I think there's a little bit of that mixed in where she's not being honest with him. And yeah, I think the whole illegitimate claim to the throne that he would face if someone brought it up could potentially start this whole thing over again.
I know. I don't like the trope in TV, and I'm not saying they need to change it. And it's also happens in real life. Like, why is he being a dick about it though? Like, just talk to your mom and be
He's a
like,
kid. He's a kid,
I
Dave.
know, but why being a dick? I don't know. But Robbie, do you have any thoughts on this?
No, he's just a kid, as Benny said. We
I know.
forgive the kids, right? You got to forgive the kids. Especially the Targaryen kids. You got to forgive them. Team Black, we love them. Forgive them. Trick loves the kids.
For the kids.
No, I agree with what Benny said. He put it better than I could.
Yeah. No,
First
I
time
know.
in his life. The first time in his life.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, I know I agree with you, but at the same time, like he comes across as unlikable, and I feel like you might be 100% right. The goal here is to make us hate everybody.
Yeah, I mean, you think about how happy you were when Joffrey died.
Oh, so happy. That was the best.
So there you go.
So I'm gonna be happy times like 12.
We're gonna get 2 seasons of just pure elation.
All right.
It's gonna be like that Arnold clip in Pumping Iron where he's like, I've been coming all the time.
I can't stop coming.
All right. Fair. So, Jace, I can't wait till you die. All right. So I think the most important thing, and we kind of like danced in and out of this topic. But basically my last question for the evening is, what do you think about these Dragon Riders? What do you think about the plan? And what do you see happening here? So I don't know if anyone wants to start with really anything. I know again we kind of like went in and out with Ulf and with all the other riders, but thoughts?
Please take us home, boys. I'll go last.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like some of these, and I get it, but again, like I just feel like some of these Dragon Riders were rushed. I mean, I don't know. Right, like Game of Thrones, you didn't have any dragons. Like at the end, excuse me.
You're rushing this. You're taking too long with that. Please make this faster. Please make this slower. I mean, what do you want? Tell me what you want.
I want you to shut the fuck up. That's number one. No, these are important things. Dragon Riders are very important. They are prestigious. They hold something to me, right? Game of Thrones didn't have any until they come of age, and you have Daenerys, and I forgot who else was riding them, but it felt like something to me. Like it felt prestigious, like 1960s MLB, right? Prestigious stuff. Whereas, yeah, you 100% plays a part. I get that. Adam too. I wasn't on Adam, but I think obviously Adam has some lineage in him. But like, I don't know. It just was like laughable to me when someone like Ulf pops on this powerful dragon, and Ulf is just a complete fuck up. And it's like, why does he have this dragon? But then again, it's like, well, why does Donald Trump Jr., have what he has? Because he's a complete fuck up as well too. So I get it. I understand what it's about, but this is a show, and I want, somebody, a powerful, whether it's male or female character, to be on these dragons. I don't want somebody like Ulf on a powerful dragon just stumbled onto it, running away from everything. Right? At least you stood up for himself, stood up for that lady, and was like, "Hey, listen, kill me." Right? I'm the one you want, and I respect that from you. So
Do
yeah,
it.
like I get that, but Ulf is just like a joke, and it just tainted that for me because I feel like these dragons are magical, mystical, and have this kind of lore to them. Whereas somebody like Ulf, who can give a shit and only cares about Ulf, gets this once of a lifetime experience. And I didn't enjoy that. I think it's stupid. I don't know. I don't know what the payoff is, but I think that's what I think in 2 seasons of the show, that's the biggest thing that's upset me the most. Is somebody like Ulf hopping on this dragon.
Ryan,
Yeah.
what'd you think?
No, I mean, I agree, and I hate to like jump to conclusions, but I'm hoping that something will happen. Maybe he like falls off and they're like, well, we need a new rider. I don't know. He fell. He was drunk. Something. But then it's like, well, then why even do it? So I feel like he's kind of gonna be in it for at least a little bit, a while. Um, and he seems like when he was flying over King's Landing, I was like, what is he showing his fucking friends? Like he seems like, guys, look what I got. Um, yeah, I mean, I agree, and we'll see. Hope maybe he'll surprise us. Maybe there'll be a redemption arc in here. We all know how much I love, a come up. Maybe he, whatever, becomes my favorite character. I have no idea. But right now, I agree with Robbie. Like, I just think it's stupid that a numbskull like him got a dragon. It just seems like so corny. But uh, Benny, go ahead, and then I'll get to maybe my other points.
So I think what the both of you are saying is exactly the point. And it's to show that the whole Targaryen thing is bullshit. And it's yes, they're the ones that have the dragons, but what really makes them so special? They're just another Valyrian family that has Valyrian blood that could ride dragons. There were 40 other families that could ride dragons in Valyria. They're just the only ones that have survived this far.
Right.
And that's why you see the dragon trainers be like, no, this is dumb. We're out, which is the same thing that you guys are saying. But at the end of the day, the dragon picks who it picks. And
Right.
it
A
doesn't matter.
Targaryen.
Yeah, but they have Targaryen blood.
Right.
They have Valyrian blood. So it doesn't matter if they don't know the difference if you're a king or a prince or
Exactly.
so the fact that he got a dragon, the only thing it's proving is that he has Targaryen blood, and it is stupid. The whole thing is silly in a way, and I think that that's the point of it. And I think it is also going to set them up for a big fuck up where one of these 2 or 3 people turns, or one of them does something stupid. Yeah, Ulf goes to King's Landing with the dragon, but I think that they sent Ulf to be like, lure
No,
them
I
out,
know. Yeah. Go
and
poke around. Yeah.
we're gonna do our mixtape. We're gonna
Yeah.
post a mixtape, and all the dragons are gonna you go up on top, you come behind me over here, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk up, give you the smirk, and yeah, I think that in Rhaenyra's head, yes, oh my God, look, I figured this out. I have all these dragons. I just need someone to put on the back of the dragon. And there is going to be part of it, I think, where it does blow up in her face a little bit because they're not trained, but it's not going to be because it's not Jon Snow or it's not
I wish.
Rhaenyra or
Wish.
Aegon or somebody, somebody that's a highborn Targaryen. It's that stuff doesn't matter to the dragon, and
No,
really at the end of the day, that's the one that's making the choice here.
no, I get that, and I think from my point of view, and I don't know if Robbie feels the same way, but the reason I don't like Ulf is because he's fucking corny. Like he's just like
Let
he's
me
not cool. Like give me someone cool.
let me cut you off real quick. Ulf stinks.
Stinks.
I hate Ulf. If Ulf was running for president against RFK Jr., I would vote for RFK Jr. Okay, that's how much I dislike Ulf. But he's serving the purpose here.
No, I know.
But I don't want any bones about it. Ulf is the worst.
I hope
Oh,
he's
I don't give a shit who picks who. I mean, these dragons are idiots for picking people like Ulf. Like again, give me somebody better than Ulf. Ulf stinks. It just annoys me because again, like I said, it just annoys me that a schmo like Ulf is riding a dragon and he's corny, he's an idiot, he's a scaredy cat, and it's just when I saw him flying over King's Landing, I'm like, this fucking is so stupid. I understand what they were doing, but it was dumb. It annoyed me so much, and yeah, I hope Wolf just goes down quick, real quick.
I watched the Inside the episode after, and they said they didn't want to get too much into how the dragon picks or why the dragon picks the rider, but you see two different reasons in this episode as to kind of how. And one of them was Hugh stood up to the dragon and showed no fear, and that the dragon respected that. And the other was Ulf kind of just like completely submitting
submitted. Yeah.
to the dragon, and the dragon saw that in a way and thought that it was worthy, not like running around afraid, screaming, being a little bee. He was the ultimate bee in that situation, but the dragon saw it as a complete submission. Again, he stinks, the worst, but that was their 2 cents on it.
Nah, that's fine. What'd you guys think? Quick, we're getting a little long, but what'd you think of the whole plan? Because like I made the joke earlier, like so the trainers or whatever, what are they called? The dragon
Singers.
trainers? Whatever. They're like, we quit. We're out of here with your perversion of our gods, but Rhaenyra like brings all these people in the dragon pit and then calls Vermithor and is just like, all right, good luck. Like no instructions.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hang out on the balcony. Some of you may die, and that is a sacrifice I'm willing to deal with, or so whatever. Like, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, she's gotten you two new dragon riders. So who gives a shit about the 35 other people that just get scorched? But the other thing too is like, weren't people blocked from leaving King's Landing last episode or 2 episodes ago? Now they could just walk out like no one gives a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was going to be a bigger issue than it was if like somebody got out, like found a way out. And it's like, dude, she just called us all in there and burnt us all to a crisp. But she did give the Parcells halftime speech before they went in there. So, I feel like they kind of knew they kind of knew what was, what they were getting themselves into a little bit, not as much as our friend from Huey Lewis in the News last week. Like she was pretty straight up with it and being like, you might die, just so you know. Where she was kind of given like hey, you could really make something of yourself here. Like, not going to say what could happen if it goes bad, but she gave them the pump up speech and then kind of just left them to the wolves.
I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. Any other thoughts about this plan or the dragon riders themselves?
I mean, I can go for 2-3 more hours about the Dragon Riders, but we'll save that. I don't want to hear Benny's mouth for his blacks anymore. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
dare
All right. Is there any scenes or subjects or themes that we didn't touch on that you guys want to bring up before we move on to our Iron Throne of the Week?
Shout out Aegon, a little rehab action going on there.
Yep.
Seems like he's gonna come back in some sort of way. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Carl's Dad of the Year, communication
Yeah.
style of the century. Really, really you're working wonders this season, Carlos. You could have given a shit that your wife dropped dead. You're terrible to every one of your kids. I'm done with you too. You stink, and I can't wait to see you burn.
How dare you?
Okay.
Communication is key.
Yeah, at least say so, at least ask him like, "How you doing today?" He gave him nothing.
He's
Yeah,
not ready.
like what are you doing, Carlos? What are you doing with your life except for moping around your shitty ships and we're doing nothing?
Bothering
To think,
bastards.
to think that I actually gave a shit about that character. To think.
I've never been so happy to be alone on Team Black's island that I am right now.
We're gonna
Just
watch. We're
just
both
me
gonna
on
be singing a
Dragonstone, yeah.
different tune next week.
Yeah.
I was always Team Black.
Now cut the tape here. I've never been Team Black. We're done with Team. I never will be Team Black.
All right.
If
Cut the
anything,
tape
you'd
here.
be Team Green.
Team Green or Team off the screen. Team off the screen. That's what I am.
All
Out of here.
right, let's do our Iron Throne of the Week and then wrap it up. So, I think Benny went first last week. So, Robbie, why don't you go first this week?
I'll save the meat, the young boy. I'll save him for somebody else. Hopefully you, Brian. Hopefully Brennan doesn't get him sick, you know. But I'm going with my Iron Throne this week is Vagar, the best in the business. Just doesn't care. Doesn't care. Needs all the max effort to turn him back, turn around. He was going to go fucking eat up DOS effects, whatever mixtape cover Benny wanted on his little island over there with everybody. You get up on top, you get in the corner, you run the pick and roll with Luke Longley in the back. We're done with that. Vagar is ready to rock and roll. He's my Iron Throne of the week. She? Or she, sorry.
I think technically they're genderless or can be either gender. It doesn't matter.
All right, so they, them.
I think.
They, them.
Yeah, whatever.
Shout out Vagar. All about it. I loved it. He's just, they are just old and cranky and ready for some war, kind of like me. And I just will be so upset when the day comes when old Vagar hits the bricks because they were ready to rock and roll this week, no matter what was in their way, and I was ready for it. But we'll wait till next week because, as they say, every dog has their day. Team Green, all the way.
Yeah, I mean, Vagar wanted that smoke.
Jeez. I mean, what is this, the fucking Republican National Convention? Jeez, that speech. Oh.
Don't make it rip my shirt off.
All right, brother. Go ahead, Ryan.
All right. I mean, thank you, Robbie. I will take him at your request so that cousin Benny can't have him, but I will take Oscar Tully this week as my Iron Throne just because badass for whatever. He's like probably like 14, 15 years old and he pickled the beast, as they say.
I mean,
I'm getting word from Las Vegas. They got Benny's odds of picking Rhaenyra again for the 7th week in a row at negative 20,000 to 1. I'll take action on that.
Well, let me tell you something. I could pick her every week, and I should have. If I knew she was going to get dragged like this at the end of the season, I would have, and I should have this week. But you know what? I got somebody else for you. Give me you. Give me an L. Give me an F. Give me Ulf on the Iron Throne. My man, sit drinking 1 minute, on a dragon the next. I mean, who has a better story than Ulf? I mean, I love bastards and broken things, and Ulf is one of them. So Ulf on a dragon, and I swear to God, if you turn on this family, I'm going to be very upset with you. Ulf, Iron Throne.
Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. But I wouldn't expect anything less.
I listen. I hope,
wanted to give it to Hugh, but I had to stick it in and turn it.
I hope we love Ulf next episode or next season, but he stinks right now.
He's the worst.
Yeah.
But so is Joffrey, and he sat on the Iron Throne. So I guess I got to give the man his due.
But you know what? From like a watcher perspective, like, yeah, Joffrey was an
best.
absolute piece of shit, but he was the
Yeah.
fucking best as a character to watch him because you
Yeah.
hated him. Ulf just stinks. He's like wallpaper. He stinks.
Yeah, he's
Boring,
he's
lame,
bland.
bleh.
Ugly as sin, out of shape, disgusting.
Guy never met a comb in his life.
Play-Doh. Balls probably stink like fucking sea smoke. Disgusting.
Take us home, Rob.
Yeah. Again, email, stuff's all in the show notes. Whatever. We love you. Robbie, tell him good night.
Good night to the guy with the broken down face who was first in line to ride the dragon. We knew you were never going to ride that dragon.
No. If you don't like Team Black, you're whack.
Oh, sorry.
If
Good
you don't
night
like
to
Team
Bill,
Green,
Bill
you mean.
Wellington Sticks. Yeah.
Down in my
Good night to
lungs.
Bill Beef Wellington.
When I hear a sound, a rap at the door, my young son Gabriel walks in. My wife says, no, Gabriel, leave. I say, no, let the boy watch. Let the boy watch. He needs to learn the way I learned from my father, the way he learned.